surprised that somebody didn't seize it earlier in camp?
No, not really, because we move guys around. You have to be prepared for guys to play open, different positions and those type of things. So we've done some things that in close practices too, and those things that we want a competitive advantage for ourselves. But no, I'm not disappointed at all. Not yet.
So are you confident you'll have your answer after the game in Tampa?
I don't think you ever really say anything. It's confident until it's done. And again, the head coach will address who the starter is and that type of thing. But I would think we'd have a more clear focus for it.
Kush is a veteran who started for a playoff team. What's lacking there?
What's lacking?
Yeah, right for him.
He's done a fine job. So he's competed very well. He's been in the first group here now for a couple of weeks, and he has a tremendous value. I mean, the guy is a good center. He's played both guard positions, started in this business, and very strong, powerful guy. So he's done a good job.
Isn't it unusual to not have it set by now? You're starting five.
No, not necessarily. Not at all. I believe that you have to, rotate people. Obviously there's 4 men up there that have not rotated anywhere, and they're pretty much set where they are and in the positions they're fighting for. But it's a long season, and if you don't, get people in rotation and see it in training camp, and the things come, they'll bite you right in the tail now. I mean, could be week 10 or something, and someone loses a helmet for 2 or 3 series before he gets healthy, to get back in, or lose a shoe. You got to have some recoil and remember what you did back in training camp, and it does for linemen. So moving guys around is a good thing.
I understand that. I mean, we don't get that, but to not be certain who that
before the third preseason game, no, I don't think it's a concern at all. Not for me, it isn't.
Well, why do you kind of work Drew Ford and Kendall Lamb in there recently? Like, what have those guys done, and what's the thinking there?
Again, just to see what flexibility you have, and give people some opportunities. And when we go down and play Tampa here in a couple of days, if we were at this podium the next day after, you'd probably ask me a bunch of other questions too. So,
what do you want to see out of Eric Kush in Tampa to give you that clear answer you're looking for?
Just be consistent. Be consistent with the 2 adjacent linemen is the most important thing, and to come out and just be real confident, shoot your guns and go full speed at it.
What kind of potential does Corbett show at center?
A lot of potential. I mean, he's doing a good job. I mean, it's a situation too where Kyle's missed some time, and we're rotating him, Kalis with the center position. So you have 3 guys that are primarily taking the snaps, and but he's improved from game 1 to game 2, and certainly if he's asked to play center this week, I expect him to improve again.
Can you tell he's raw, or is he not necessarily raw, even though he hasn't played a bunch there?
Well, he hasn't played like you said, but he's gotten a heck of a lot of snaps. He's over 100 snaps at center in 2 games, so that will bode well for him and for us in the long run.
The idea of jack of all trades, master of none, doesn't apply in your world at offensive line?
In my world, no. And in the Cleveland Browns world, I just believe in making sure that you are covered in all positions. We dress 7 players mostly on a game day, and in the last 15 years, we've been down to 6, 5. About 5 or 6 times, and in fact, a couple of times we had to use D linemen in there, so to win games, and so the more that you can do, the better we'll be. And I do believe, though, once someone is established, then you let them play in that spot. So, we have the left tackle, the left guard, the center, and the right tackle. We're doing a pretty damn good job. So, rotating guys in to find the right guard is not an issue.
The idea of the line is only as good as its weakest link.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your 4 guys you just mentioned are good enough to elevate that right guard no matter who ends up there?
Well, I'll say this, that there's a job requirement for every single one of those players. Whether it's left guard, left tackle, center, right guard, right tackle. And the job requirement is to win. They're not expected I will never use the word weak link or not surprised by or rookie or just because. If they're in there starting, they're expected to do their job. They're expected to win.
You guys have
What does the
really-
resourcefulness of Mayfield do for your ability to have a comfort level while you're trying to find out what the identity of the line is going to be?
Well, we don't want him escaping. We want to stay in front of him. But I mean, the kid has a quick release and he's smart. He's got a good cadence and does things that keep people off balance. So it's all helpful. It all works together.
You guys have really worked hard on an inside running game here in camp. Is that, two questions, watching film last year, is that something you think had to be improved, or is this really going to be your identity this year?
I think we're trying to be balanced in everything. You got to understand too that sometimes when the ball breaks inside, it was an outside play and everything got flushed out. So I think that we've been pretty balanced in this preseason, and where we're attacking runs, and we're working on things to find that identity. I don't think the identity is 100% established of what we're going to be at this point.
So, when you went back and looked at the film last year, what stood out about Chris Hubbard, and how have you seen him get better?
Chris is a true pro. It's been a pleasure coaching this kid. I mean, he does and tries everything you ask him to do. Relentless. I mean, he stays square to the line of scrimmage. Things that we had to work on with him, he has improved those through this camp and through the OTAs. But he's a high energy player that people gravitate to. He's a leader by example, and he works.
To clarify, your feeling about the right guard situation is that it's going fine? It's part of the process, or are there any concerns?
It's a great way of saying it. It's part of the process. I don't have any concerns. The person that will start there, again, will fill the requirements of the right guard position, and he'll be expected to win.
And are you confident he's here?
Oh, 100%.
On Greg Robinson, you weren't here last year. You didn't see his eight games, but he was a number 2 overall pick for a reason. I mean, do you see some of that? And relative to the talent that he has, how good is he becoming for you at attack?
We got to get him to the first game and let it rip and see how it goes. But he is extreme, supreme talented kid that has to just believe in himself and really absorb everything that's going on around him, and it's going to be fun to watch him.
How do you evaluate and assess his training camp, given that he has to go against Myles Garrett a lot of the time?
Yeah, I mean it's an advantage. I mean when you have not just Greg but all the linemen, when you have the rushers, you have the name guys like you said, the ones that are known, Sheldon and Olivier and Miles and Avery and these guys. But I mean honestly, Cooley and Lawrence and Smith, these guys are damn good pass rushers. I mean, we are very fortunate as a line group, and we talk about that we have all different types of body types, and Big Carl and these guys, and Danny. You got pile pushers, you got speed people, you got edge rushers, you got counter rushers, and we're really, really, really fortunate to be able to go against those people. Not just to evaluate, but for them to then be able to see all those rushes, correct them on tape, and what do you do, And I mean, this camp is physical, and it's been really, it's a lineman's dream. It's offensive lineman's dream to have that type of people
So you
going
said
against.
once a guy establishes himself at a position, you don't like to move him around, right?
I wouldn't. But there will be movement too, because just because a guy says is starting X, and then all of a sudden you're in a game and a guy loses his chin strap, he's got to go play there.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
But so there are no plans to move the tackles inside at this point?
I won't comment on that. That's a competitive advantage. I'm not going to comment on that.
Is it important to have strong leadership?
What's that?
Is it important to have strong leadership with the back thought that Tretter's a strong personality and a veteran, and Joel Antonio was a captain last year? So do you have it? Is it important to
Oh, it's
find
very
out who this
important.
year's leaders are going to be?
It's very important, and I think that leadership comes in many different ways, and I truly believe this, that as linemen you have to display that, whether you're the vocal leader or by action, but to pinpoint and say this one's your leader, that's a bunch of crap, if you ask me. Everybody that's in the line room, whether you're the first string or the third string, you got to be a damn leader. And if you're not, then you're not an offensive lineman. You have to depict that confidence and understand that the rest of the people are looking to you. You're the big brother, if you will, to make sure things will get right when things go wrong. So everybody has a leadership role.
When you look at Austin, is it fair to say he's been better at center than he was at right guard?
I wouldn't say that, no. Nope.
What have you liked about him at center?
His huddle command, his discipline at the line, his assignments are very good. I mean, he's done everything we've asked from that standpoint, everything.
Do you think the snaps in the game were just jitters or what?
He had a couple up there that Manute Bowl was, where was he at to get him? And he knows that, right? But he'll correct those. Well, it's his first game on the turf, playing a hell of a lot of plays. And, heck, that's just awareness. I mean, the ball's going to slide a little different on the carpet versus grass. He had some bigger noses, shade versus even front the week before. So those things are just growing. You grow into it and you learn from it, and you learn to place your ball better and understand what's charging at you. So it was a completely different front than the week before. The Colts are penetrating up the field, and so things happen quicker. And versus it was a read front.
In terms of Treader, what do you like about Treader?
From Drew Forbes so far, and what's the biggest area that he needs to improve on?
His biggest improvement, just playing under control. Playing with his hands, in the right place. And, it's a guy like him too, a kid that came from a small school and he plays, was playing tackle, but now everything's just close in front of him. The speed and the power, it's different. And it takes time to learn that. And, but once you accomplish that, then you take off and you go.
What do you like about Treader?
He's just a leader, He's a good person, number one. He works hard. He's very studious to the game. He knows where everybody's supposed to go, but he gets, he does a lot of good things physically that we're going to take advantage of this year. No question.
Real quick, when offensive linemen get a new coach, is there a lot for them to unlearn from the previous offensive line coach, whoever it is, not necessarily just you?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say so. And I'll tell you, it's a very fortunate. When you walk into a place that people have fundamentals. I thought that the other two coaches here did a nice job with the fundamentals. It's just different ways of teaching things. One of the best coaches I ever had was Tom Lavatt when I was a player at Green Bay. When he came in with Coach Holmgren, he sat us down and said, "Hey, look, everybody, take 10% of every coach you've ever had from high school to this point." And take those 10%, and I'm going to give you 10% of me, and you're probably at about 70%. Keep learning and not forgetting what the good coaches gave you, And it's so true because, line play is a little bit unique. It's a little bit different. We're kind of like here, doing our thing over here, and there's a lot of different ways to do things and accomplish things, But, Mark and Bob did a nice job getting these guys to where, playing with their feet in the ground and stuff like that. And so certainly it makes it a lot easier.